Welcome back to Auto Vista, the place where timeless machines meet modern admiration. Today, we're taking a deep dive into a true icon of American luxury, a car that didn't just make a statement, it whispered class with a voice so smooth it might as well have been wearing a tuxedo. This is the 1978 Lincoln Continental Mark V. And no, this isn't just another vintage cruiser. This is one of the most distinctive personal luxury coupes ever made. Picture this, it's the late 1970s. America's muscle car fever has cooled down, and now, it's all about plush interiors, opulence, and making a grand entrance. Fuel economy. That wasn't the first thing on anyone's mind. What mattered was style, comfort, and that commanding road presence. The Mark V had all of that, and more. At over 19 feet long, this car didn't roll down the road, it sailed. Under the massive hood, buyers had a choice of two V8 engines. The base engine was the 400 cubic inch V8, making around 166 horsepower. For those who wanted more, there was the 460 cubic inch V8, a beast of an engine producing 210 horsepower and nearly 360 pound-feet of torque. Sure, those numbers might not sound earth-shattering by today's standards, but back then, that was more than enough to keep this 4,600-pound luxury liner moving with confidence. And with AC 6 3-speed automatic transmission, shifts were smooth and nearly imperceptible, just the way luxury drivers liked it. But let's talk about the real magic, the design. The 1978 Mark V was the last of its kind in many ways. It was the final model year for the Continental Mark series to feature the giant proportions that had become their trademark. The front end stretched out with that unmistakable Rolls-Royce-inspired grille, flanked by concealed headlights that gave the car a clean, upscale look when turned off. And then there's the signature, Continental, spare tire hump on the decklid, a purely stylistic touch, but one that instantly set it apart from everything else on the road. Every surface of this car was designed with presence in mind. Chrome trim ran along the body, accentuating its long, low profile. The opera windows on the seat pillars were small, elegant, and could even be customized with the owner's initials. That's the level of personalization we're talking about. And then there's the vinyl roof, available in a range of colors and styles, adding a touch of sophistication that was pure 1970s luxury. Inside, it's like stepping into a rolling living room. Plush velour or leather seats, real wood accents, thick carpeting, and so many buttons, switches, and dials that it almost felt like sitting in the cockpit of an aircraft. The seats didn't just adjust, they floated. Power everything, windows, locks, seats, even the antenna. Some models even had automatic climate control, a luxury not many cars could boast back then. And Lincoln didn't stop there. In 1978, they offered special designer editions, the Cartier, Bill Blass, Givenchy, and Pucci models. Each one came with its own unique color schemes, interior trims, and badging. It was an early version of what we now call collaborations, and it gave buyers the chance to express their style through their ride. The Cartier edition, for example, came in a rich light gray with a matching interior and signature Cartier clock on the dashboard. Driving the Mark V wasn't about cornering hard or hitting apexes, no, this car was about floating down the highway, isolated from the outside world. The suspension soaked up bumps like they weren't even there, and the steering was light, maybe even a bit vague, but that was intentional. It was all about ease, comfort, and a sense of effortlessness. Fuel economy. Well, let's be honest, it wasn't good. You were lucky to get double digits. But if you were shopping for a Lincoln Continental Mark V in 1978, gas mileage probably wasn't high on your priority list. You were buying prestige, presence, a car that made you feel like a VIP every time you sat behind the wheel. One of the most impressive things about the Mark V is how it has held up over time. Today, it's seen as a rolling piece of art, a snapshot of an era where automotive design was bold, expressive, and unapologetically large. These cars are becoming increasingly collectible, especially low-mileage examples or rare designer editions. And because they were built in decent numbers and were often well cared for, you can still find great examples on the market today. But owning a Mark V isn't just about having a classic car. It's about celebrating a philosophy of design that we may never see again. The Mark V wasn't trying to be sporty or minimalist. It was about grand touring in the most literal sense. It was about long drives with soft jazz on the stereo, windows down, and a ride so smooth you could sip coffee without spilling a drop. And let's not forget the details, little things like the Cartier-branded analog clock, the opera lamps, or the soft close trunk lid. These were features that reminded you, every time you got in, that this wasn't just a mode of transportation. It was an experience. There's a certain charm to cars like the 1978 Lincoln Continental Mark V, a charm rooted in confidence, in excess, and in the belief that bigger really was better. Today, in a world of shrinking sedans and lookalike crossovers, the Mark V stands out more than ever. It's not just a car, it's a monument. A monument to a time when Detroit dreamed big, built bigger, and gave the world machines that were impossible to ignore. If you ever get the chance to see one of these in person, or better yet, drive one, take it. You'll understand instantly why the Mark V left such a lasting impression. It's not just the size, or the chrome, or the V8 rumble. It's the feeling it gives you, a sense of timeless, effortless luxury. That's it for today's ride through automotive history. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1978 Lincoln Continental Mark V, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Auto Vista, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next journey through the golden age of motoring. Let us know in the comments, have you ever ridden in or owned a Mark V? We'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, keep your wheels turning and your spirit cruising. Thanks for watching Auto Vista.